Real quick before we jump into the video, guys, for the rest of this year I'm going to be on a fundraising campaign to raise a minimum of £1,000 for the Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. For more information on the charity and what it does, and for the donation links, please look in the description below. And thank you all for your continued support. Enjoy the show. What's going on, guys? Right, I'm your teacher now, so we are here with the RBL Semifinals. Your Royal Bournemouth Bombies are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins and Coach Rykustik. This is, of course, a rematch of Week 7, where we unfortunately lost 2-1, but the match didn't really matter, so we're not really that concerned about that. But this time around, the matchup is a little bit different, by virtue of the fact that since our match, Rykustik has actually dropped both Spectria and Galarian Darmanitan in favour of Dragonite and Slowbro, which, while both of these changes do have some merit, I don't actually think this helps him in this matchup against me. Spectria was actually a pretty big problem against my team. Galarian Darmanitan caused me some prep issues, so we don't have those issues now, but it doesn't make this any less scary. What also makes this a little bit scary is I haven't had a lot of time to prep. I was originally planning on prepping throughout Saturday, and then scrim on Sunday, and then be ready for Sunday evening. Unfortunately, because I've been ill, and my scrim partner's not been available, I'm going in blind, basically. I don't have a choice in this matchup, but as always, we'll break down his team. There are some things that we see from last time, so I'm not going to go over those. Colossal, of course, is G-Max of choice. Dragapult, Thundurus is tier 1s. Definitely very threatening, particularly physical Thundurus if he opts to bring it. Togekiss, of course, very bulky support Pokemon. Nothing too surprising there. It's pretty decent with redirection thanks to Follow Me. Gets Helping Hand as well. Could also be a max target, but I doubt it. Dragonite is an interesting one. Dragonite gets Aqua Jet, which is a nice way to proc the G-Max Colossal. That was actually something that Cybertron did relatively recently. Run like an Inner Focus, relatively bulky Dragonite set. Which allows it to set up Colossal Steam Engine, of course. But we do have a way to stop that, and I will take you through that in a second. Slowbro, of course, very bulky Pokemon. Water Psychic, actually, kind of an annoying duo for my team. It can hit through things like my Urshifu, which is definitely not nice. I don't really like having a wall with Urshifu here, because obviously I am the Rapid Strike, not the Single Strike Urshifu. Crocodile, of course, he had it last time but didn't bring it. It's an Intimidate one, basically. Actually can be very good physically offensive, can also be a good defensive pivot. Lucario, of course, potential mixed sweeper, kind of slow though, actually slower than a lot of my team, so don't expect it to come. Uxie, of course, he had it last time, very bulky Psychic, does get Imprison, which can stop me from using some of my moves, which is actually what I expected him to bring last time, but he didn't opt for it. And then, of course, his tier 5s that he seems to love too much. Fletchinder, pretty decent Tailwind mon. But aside from that, kind of lackluster. Does get Flame Body, of course, or Gale Wings, depending on which one you want. And, of course, Pikachu. Relatively quick, very, very frail, though. Unless you're running Focus Sash, it dies in one hit, which happened to him every single game we played last time. So, if it's not Sash, I'm just going to kill it. And even if it is Sash, I can still kill it. So, not really all that concerned about the Pikachu. The 6 I expect him to bring: Colossal, Dragapult, Thundurus, Dragonite, maybe. Definitely think Crocodile might come this time. Intimidate is actually very annoying against my team. Potential Slowbro. But honestly, even if it's just the top 6 that come, I'm not too surprised. He might not bring Dragapult this time, because I have plenty of ways to beat it. And also I have Zeraora, which naturally outpaces it, so I can definitely play around this Dragapult a lot easier than other teams can. So I think that's probably where Dragonite might have its niche instead, which could free up the door for things like Crocodile or potentially Uxie. Maybe Pikachu comes again, who knows, probably not, but you never quite know what we're going to get. But with all that being said, let's take you through my team and what we are rocking with this week, because we are rocking some unusual stuff, things that I haven't brought. And of course, all of our Pokemon names this week are going to be puns on Rykustik's name, because why not? So, leading the charge is going to be Ryclaustic, the Weavile, running Choice Band, which is the first time I've run Banded all season. I've typically run Focus Sash on it or Scarf. I've not really run too many other things. But this is where it gets interesting. We are max HP, max attack, Adamant Nature. Now, this does mean that Thundurus will outspeed me if I'm not clicking Ice Shard, which is the main goal of this set. So my main goal really behind this is to basically one-shot things with Ice Shard. Thunderous, if it's not Sash, dies to an Ice Shard. Dragapult, if it's not defensive, dies to an Ice Shard. But 2 Ice Shards guarantee kills even if he burns me. Ice Shard can one-shot the Dragonite unless it's multi-scale or Focus Sash. Definitely pretty scary. Ice Shard does actually do a lot to Crocodile even after the Intimidate. So you can see how a lot of these mons don't appreciate an Ice Shard. And Knockoff is kind of a nice little extra option there in case Dragapult is a thing. It also allows me to get rid of Slowbro's item, which otherwise Slowbro kind of was this set, to be honest. I don't really do much. Brick Break is largely there for screens, but it can also be a potential max move if I need to recover and Intimidate or whatever. But it is pretty scary. Ice is actually very, very strong against Rhycoustic's team in general, and the things that are not weak to Ice, I can handle with quite a few other mons on this team. Next up is Rhycatstic. He's back from last time. We're running Expert Belt. I might change this to Assault Vest, I'm not entirely sure, but I kind of like Expert Belt a little bit more. The extra damage is kind of nice. But we are running max speed and max special attack, and of course the Timid Nature. This guarantees that I outspeed Dragapult, so long as it's not Scarfed or it's in Tailwind, which could be a thing with Thunderous, but I'll talk about how I deal with that going through. Running a special set this week. This is basically because last time round, especially with Spectria, his main goal was to burn my Zeraora. Well, this time round, by running special, burning my Zeraora is actually useless. This is a potential good max target. Max Hyper Beam, it actually does a hell of a lot of damage. It's actually a pretty scary move in general. Snarl is kind of nice. It allows me to mitigate a lot of Colossal's damage or Dragapult's damage. I won't necessarily guarantee that I live a +1 Max Quake, which is why I also debated Focus Sash on this set, but I don't think it's necessary. Focus Blast is actually very, very nice. It actually enables things like my Weavile, for example. If I pair these two up together, Max Fighting is actually very nice for Weavile. Allows it to pick up the clutch kills that it otherwise wouldn't be able to. And Rising Voltage, of course, is nice for Max Lightning, and then post-Max, Rising Voltage is 140 base power and Electric Terrain, which does a hell of a lot of damage on Max Special Attack. Next up is, of course, Raishifu. Running Choice Scarf, as usual. We've gone back to normal service with our Urshifu. We are max speed, max attack, and jolly. This means that I actually outspeed Zeraora. It means that this thing is actually the fastest thing on my team. Basically, the idea behind this is if he does lead Dragonite Colossal or Dragapult Colossal, either way, it depends on how he speed creeps his Colossal. He does have to watch out, though, because Surgeon Strikes will actually one-shot the Colossal, so that is something to bear in mind. Running Iron Head for Togekiss, although I don't necessarily need it. Ice Punch is actually really good for most of his team. As we said, a lot of his team is weak to Ice. And Close Combat is also a pretty nice little option for things like the Lucario, potentially the Crocodile, and also Colossal if I opt to max. It's unlikely that I max this thing because I am, of course, Choice Scarfed. But Scarf Surgeon Strikes does so much damage to a lot of this team that's not called Slowbro or Dragonite or Dragapult. Ice Punch actually beats Dragapult and Dragonite. This does get walled by Slowbro, which is a little bit annoying, but I do have Zeraora to answer it, so I'm not as concerned about that. Next up is going to be Saboostic, the Sableye, of course. Running Leftovers and Fully Spadef, nothing too unusual there. Prankster as normal. And I switch Will-O-Wisp, Cross, and Nightshade. Nightshade is actually nice because it allows me to sit in on Slowbro. He could Calm Mind, of course, which could be annoying, but by being out of Ally Switch, I can actually potentially hold up my max target, or I can potentially save my Urshifu sitting here. Quash is also nice, especially if he's running things like Policy Dragapult and stuff like that, and Nightshade's just consistent damage. He actually does not have a normal type on this team, so Nightshade is going to do consistent damage regardless, so definitely worth it. I considered Shadow Sneak, but not worth it in my opinion. Sucker Punch is also too situational, but that is a thing. But yeah, Fully Spadef just gives me a best chance to live a Dragapult hit where possible. Next up is Rayquaza, of course, the Weezing Galar, with Shuckerberry and Fully Spadef. Again, I prefer Fully Spadef in this matchup. Yes, obviously Crocodile does get Earthquake and stuff like that, but I think Colossal's Earth Power is a lot more threatening, and we do have the Shuckerberry, so we do live the hit, as we are Fully Spadef. But we're running an interesting set this week. We're running Protect, Strain Steam, Will-O-Wisp, and Haze. Haze is actually very, very nice, because if he does try to set up on me with a Weakness Policy, Dragapult, something like that, potential policy Togekiss or whatever, I can actually just haze off the stat boosts, and then suddenly this Dragapult is pretty mediocre. Dragapult doesn't actually do that much into Weezing in general, particularly if it's a special set. Strange Steam, of course, is very, very nice, as it does actually 2-hit KO Dragapult if it's offensive. We actually saw that in Week 7, where my Strange Steam actually did about 55%. So, definitely pretty scary for him. Protect, of course, is always nice. Definitely guarantees me to live a hit. So, we're actually in a decent spot with Weezing. Weezing does actually outpace a lot of the lesser mons on his team, like the Slowbro, for example, so pretty scary, but definitely worth building. And of course, by last by no means least, is Raikou Big Ass, the Regigigas. Running Life Orb, not too surprising to see that, and Slow Start, of course, is his only ability. But we're running Protect and 3 attacks. I debated on running Darkest Lariat, mostly for Dragapult, but I actually don't need it, because Ice Punch, as long as I don't get burned. Max Hailstorm actually one-shots Dragapult, so I'm not really that concerned. Max Giga Impact, of course, is very nice for the speed, and Max Quake is generally preferred because of Colossal. Largely, I think Colossal's actually a very, very annoying threat to this team, so I do have to be very, very careful how I play around it. I debated on bringing Ferrothorn, of course, but the problem is a lot of these special attackers carry Flamethrower, or fighting moves. Dragapult gets Flamethrower and Focus Blast. Colossal, of course, gets Heat Wave. Definitely problematic. Thunderous does get Superpower, of course. Togekiss gets Aura Sphere and Flamethrower. Dragonite gets Fire Punch. Slowbro gets Flamethrower, and I think it gets Focus Blast as well. Crocodile gets Superpower. I believe it also gets Close Combat. Lucario gets Aura Sphere, gets Vacuum Wave. It's plenty of fighting moves. Uxie, I think, gets Focus Blast. Fletchinder gets Fire moves, of course, and Pikachu gets Focus Blast, so Ferrothorn kind of has a bad matchup. Pretty much everything on this team has an answer for Ferrothorn, so I'm just like, well, Ferrothorn can't really afford to come, which definitely makes this a little bit more challenging, especially with my defensive core. But we do have Sableye and Weezing, who I do think can potentially bring a very, very good defensive core to the team. But yeah, that is going to be our team that we are rocking out with. If we do win this one, we will be up against either Saiyan Senior or Benzosim. My money's on Benzosim, although I would rather play Saiyan in the final if I got there, because my matchup in the Saiyan is better. That's personal opinion. But yep, that's going to be the team, so let's go straight on into the battles in a bit. Alright guys, we're connected up with Raikou, of course. You can see the 6 I'm bringing up there, and you can see the possible 6 I think he's bringing below the main screen over there. Definitely think this is going to be a tough one. I think there's a lot of potential for change. We made one change to the Teambuilder, of course. We brought Assault Vest on Zeraora instead of the Expert Belt, just to change things up, because I needed to live a couple of extra hits. This time we can actually begin. Last time we had a problem connecting up. Not quite sure what the issue was. But let's see what you bought, Raikou. Almost perfect, kind of. Didn't bring the Slowbro, which I'm happy not to see that. Also, didn't bring Dragonite. Okay. So, this team is kind of weak to Zeraora, honestly. Zeraora actually does a number on this team. What also does a number on this team is Weavile. So, I want to save Weavile for the back. I think my play here is to lead Zeraora Urshifu. This denies the potential Colossal lead. Then I bring Weezing and Weavile in the back. I think that's probably my best lead here. I don't think there's anything else that I particularly want to lead. Interesting that he didn't opt for the Dragonite, despite the fact he picked it up. Kind of interesting. But it does bring Lucario. Lucario is interesting. Not sure how good it's going to be against me. But we'll soon find out. It's probably Scarfed, if I had to guess. But we're going to lock in the team. And he didn't bring Slowbro. He bought Crocodile. I almost bought White Herb on Zeraora. I was considering it. He brings the Crook. Crocodile Thundy. Okay. Interesting lead. I guess he's going for Max Airstream then. So this is interesting. The question is, how do I want to play against this? I think either way, I swap Zero Aura out into Weezing. This Crook could also be Scarfed, so I do need to consider that. But I think if I can deny the Prankster, and then Surging Strikes into Crook, because I think Crook is probably the biggest problem here. I think Thundy probably max Airstreams. But if I get rid of the Crook before he does it, I don't think it matters. I will potentially trade my Urshifu for that, though. Is this worth it for me? I mean, it depends what he has in the back, right? I am going to go for the Crook. We are going to swap out Zero Aura because I'm pretty sure he tried to go for Earthquake. So we're going to go into our Weezing here. We'll deny the Prankster. And we'll see what he went for. Yeah. Okay, so... Interesting he didn't opt to max, but this is a very good play for us because this will definitely kill the Crook. And we do see that he's not Rocky Helmet, which is good for us. So what did he opt for? T-Wave, actually. Okay. That's a cool tech. I'm actually surprised to see him run that. But we are still faster than a lot of his team. It does mean the Thundy outspeeds me now. So that's something I need to consider. And here comes Lucario, actually. Okay. So I should still be faster than Lucario unless it's Scarfed. I think we protect. Could also Surging Strikes into the Lucario here. Because I want to see what this Lucario does. He could just Wild Charge into a Urshifu. We're going to protect Weezing, because I want to see what he does here. Yeah, he does Wild Charge. Actually into my Weezing, though. Okay. So this was a really interesting turn. I think he should have Wild Charged my Urshifu there. I don't know if he misclicked. That's a bulky Lucario. Okay. Well, that's good to know, because we're going to get good chip damage on this thing, which is all I wanted here. And Flash Cannon. He doubled into my Weezing, interestingly enough. Okay. So I definitely think he Wild Charges into my Urshifu this turn. So I'm actually going to switch my Weezing back out into my Zero Aura as we see the special Lucario here. Which is kind of interesting. I don't think maxing Urshifu is worth it here. With the way this is playing out, I actually like the max on Zero Aura more. So I am going to go after the Lucario again. Just so that Weezing has a safer time coming back in. So Zero Aura is going to come back out here. We'll see if he went for the same play again. Wild Charge into Urshifu this time. That's what he should have done last turn, but he didn't go for it. But as you can see, it doesn't actually pick up the kill, which is really good for us. And now the Surging Strikes is going to kill the Lucario. So, pretty good turn one for us. Obviously, the Intimidate's definitely hurting a little bit. But as you can see, Lucario and Crook are both gone now. And we are still in a very commanding position. So, I'm interested to see what his last Pokemon is. And he also hasn't maxed yet either. It is Dragapult. Okay. Kind of what I expected. So he's Physical Thundy. So, I could definitely max here. Go for the Strike into the Thunderous. And I guess I just want chip damage, basically, because... if I get chip damage off on Dragapult, then Weavile comes in and I Shard cleans up. So that's what we're going to go for here. He probably maxes his Dragapult as well. I'm imagining this Dragapult is policy with how he's playing this. So that's kind of my thought process here, which is why we're special. He's not going to expect me to be special here. But we are special, so we'll see how well this goes. He could Breaking Swipe, could Will-O-Wisp trying to think I'm going for him. He does max. Now let's start Dragapult. So, it's actually Thundy. Oh, I should have doubled into that. I didn't think about him maxing Thundy here. Is he airstreaming? I guess he could be airstreaming. I should have doubled into the Thundy then. We are actually going to max strike here. He's probably not going to expect those at all. We do pretty meaningful damage there, which is nice. Oh, that was a crit. I was going to say, that did more than I expected. Breaking swipe. Okay. So he definitely thinks we're physical Zero Aura here. Gonna have a bit of a nasty surprise when he realizes we're not. Okay. Gonna get chip damage off on this Dragapult, which is what we wanted. Not a lot of damage, but it's enough. Alright. Not bad. Not bad. As he knuckles, actually. Into what? A Shifu? Into Zero Aura. Okay. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but he is getting an attack boost, which I'm not a fan of. But basically, my play here is to slow him down as much as possible. I'm gonna max strike again. I think at -2, he should definitely be slower than my Urshifu, even if it's paralyzed. Or do I double into Thundy? The question is, does Weavile kill with an Ice Shard? It might do. We're gonna double into the Thunderous this time. As we are gonna strike again. As we do actually pick up the kill there, which is fine. I'm perfectly happy with this play. So with Thunderous gone, Dragapult's on his own now. And he is still faster, which is kind of annoying. But I think we're fine. I think Weavile just comes in and wins. I could also actually just go into Weezing here and hide my Weavile set, which I think is what we're going to go for. Because I want to see what he can do to my Weezing. So we're going to neutralizing gas, which is going to be really nice for us. This time we're going to max Darkness into the Dragapult and Strange Steam. Because he doesn't realize that we're special. He actually forfeits, which is perfect for us, because now we get full information. He hasn't seen my Weezing set at all. So that's a good game one for us. Pretty composed game one. So I don't think he leads Crook Thundy again. We'll take your lead card, why not? So we're going to play with the same rules again. So I'm interested to see what he does this time. He could go for redirection. I actually don't see a reason why I don't lead the same thing. Because that strat worked really well against him last time. What's also interesting is his whole team except Thundy and Dragapult and any potential Scarf. Lucario's not Scarfed, because my Urshifu outsped it when it was paralyzed. It's also special, which is interesting. So I do think the Togekiss is probably going to come this time. So that's something I do need to consider. Togekiss has a pretty bad matchup, though. So he's probably going to figure out I'm Scarf at this point. I kind of like leading into my Weezing, actually. Like, Weezing plus Zero Aura feels actually very compelling here. So I think that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to lead Weezing and Zero Aura. Although Urshifu does so much work in the early game. But I think he leads Dragapult this time. Although if I do that, how do I stop him getting... Oh, he doesn't get Steam Engine up. But I don't think leading Zero Aura is my play then. I think we lead Weezing. No, you know what? We're going to lead the same thing we did last time. And I want to see how he responds to this. We're going to bring the same 4. Because I don't have a reason to change that. But we'll see how he responds. So I don't think Crook leads this time. He saw how little damage I was doing to Lucario. So I think he leads Lucario Thundy. If I'm him, that's probably what I would consider. So what's next, Raikou? What have you got? It is the Dragapult Colossal. So we actually got the lead we kind of expected we were going to get first time. So we're gonna lead the same. The thing is, he could protect here. He could protect the Colossal, which is kind of what I'm considering. Making sure I avoid here. I could also try and double into the Dragapult. The thing about doubling into Dragapult is if he overgrowths my Urshifu, which I don't want. We are gonna go into Weezing. I think we have to go for this play, just because I want to see if he does decide to max. So we'll go for the same play as we did last game. We'll see what he can do here. We're gonna neutralizing gas here. Does he protect? Oh, good play. But whatever's coming in is taking a Surgeon Strikes, which I don't necessarily think you want this. Now he's gonna see I'm Scarfed, if he didn't know that from before. Doesn't do too much to Thundy, so this is a max HP Thundy set. Which I'm kind of okay with. You can see it does pretty considerable damage, and he's Berry. Okay. Does he burn my Colossal then? He does go for it and connects onto Weezing, actually. So he still thinks my Zeraora is physical, which is kind of funny. Because we're not physical at all. We're actually special. So with that in mind, we know this is a physical Thundy as well. So I could potentially Willow into the Thundy here. I also want a Strange Steam. I think this is a Policy Dragapult though, so I do need to watch out for that. So I think what I do then is I Willow the Thundurus. And then I switch out into Zeraora, I think. Yeah. That's going to be my play. Weavile in the back is super important, and keeping a Shifa around for Colossal definitely is compelling. I do need to be careful for the Colossal coming back in now. So we're not going to do a lot of damage this turn, which may be a little too passive, but bringing Zeraora back out here, as he switches Dragapult, so he's definitely holding back here, and here comes Crook. Good switch. Really nice switch. But if I get a burn off here on the Thundy, this is actually pretty big, as he does max the Thundurus. So he's committed his max both times. Maybe this is support Dragapult then. This is probably support Dragapult with how he's playing this. I expected it to be Policy. It doesn't appear to be. If I Surging Striked into the Dragapult there, this would have been a phenomenal turn. As he does Lightning into Zeraora. Kind of expected that. That's pretty meaningful damage, but now he's set up the terrain for me. Which is kind of nice. Not gonna lie to you guys. As we do connect the Willow on the Thundy, which is really nice for us. Okay. So, part of me just wants to double into the Crook here, but if I miss the Focus Blast, it could be bad. Although I think going into Crook is probably my best play. It would reveal that I'm special though. I don't know if I want to do that yet. I mean, losing Zeraora doesn't feel that bad for me, because I don't actually need Zeraora in this matchup. So I actually think doubling into Crook might be my play. So that's what we'll go for. We're going to reveal that I'm special now. Because he does actually reveal he's Scarf. Kind of what I expected. We do unfortunately not live, but that's okay. So he is Scarf Crook, which is really good information to know, as he does Knuckle. Does negligible damage, as you can see. We are very, very bulky Weezing, and this is a burned Crook. So we know he's Scarf, which is actually even better news for us, as he locked himself in a high horsepower. We are going to get the Strange Steam off. Get pretty decent damage. Jeez, that did a lot. No confusion, unfortunately, but that's fine. So now I can just go into a Shifu here. I could also lock myself into Ice Punch. Maybe I should have gone Weavile, actually, now I'm thinking about this further. I think doubling into Thunderous makes the most sense, because I don't think the Crook can kill me. I just don't want the damage on my Urshifu. That's the problem here, as we know this Crook is scarfed into high horsepower. And it is terrain boosted +1, so yeah, I think going after Thundy might be my play. But that's what we'll go for here. He switches out Crook, which I'm fine with. What does he go into? Dragapult. That's fine. I could have Ice Punch there, actually. Surprised he went into that. He's made a few really surprising switches, but I think they're fine. As this double up is not going to kill, is it? It's not even going to come close. But this damage is actually very important, because this does put him very comfortably in range. Yeah, I'm going to see the lightning. Does this kill me? It does not. Okay. And the double up actually killed the Thunderous, which is really nice. Okay. So he has Crocodile and Colossal in the back. Neither one of these want to take a Surging Strikes, to be fair. My problem here is I need to keep a Shifu around. I think we definitely keep the Urshifu. The problem is, like, how do I deal with this? If I can knock out the Colossal, I think we're in a perfectly fine spot here. I definitely think we Strange Steam into Dragapult. And we Surging Strikes the Colossal. See, he actually doesn't max the Colossal, which I'm very happy with. This should knock him out. Oh, that's more than knocks him out. Okay. As we do see the policy as we expected here. Not too surprising to see that. That is a dead Colossal. So he will kill me off here, but Ice Shard should easily just kill both of his mons. Breaking Swipe doesn't affect me, of course. Will knock out my Urshifu, but that's fine. Gonna get a Strange Steam off. We know this isn't policy anymore. That's a clean to a KO. That's what I like to see. Alright. In that case, we just go into my Weavile. His Raiku's just DM'd me, so I wonder what he said. GG, you wiped the floor with me? Yeah. This was definitely a hard game for him. For sure. Definitely a hard game. But we are going to Strange Steam into Dragapult, as I know he can't actually kill that. And I think we Ice Shard. Actually, no. We don't do it that way. We're going to Strange Steam the Crocodile, as we're Sugar Berry, so we always live. And then we Ice Shard into Dragapult. Banded Ice Shard should definitely kill this thing, for sure. We know this is a Scarf Crocodile, but that's not going to matter. Definitely not going to matter. But yeah, it was a very interesting team that he brought against me. I feel like he should have bought the Dragonite rather than the Dragapult, but that's fine. As we actually do make a bit of a misplay here, but I don't think it matters. High horsepower into my Sugar Berry. This shouldn't kill. Yeah, does negligible damage. A Strange Steam should pick up the kill on the Crook, unless this is a Soul Burst. Which it's not. Nice to know. Alright, and then we just double up into Dragapult and then we win. So, very good games to Raikou. Pretty much what I expected to happen from this game. Definitely a very difficult build. Obviously in week 7, when it didn't matter, this was a lot closer a game. But I think this just shows the experience that I have over Raikou, which makes this a much more scary matchup for him. As he does actually stay in. I want to see if this kills. Yeah, clean knockout. But yeah, good games to Raikou. With that result, we move on into the finals, where we face either Sayanbush Sr. or Ben Zosim. I don't actually know the result of that game yet, so I'm excited to see who it is. But we shall see. But either way, thank you so much for watching. My name is Raibombi Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bournemouth Bombies. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.